Hello, you sweaty little swamp cats. Hopping Mad Media here, and over the weekend, CIG put out a huge design post detailing ongoing progress with their FPS module, otherwise known as Star Marine. The huge design post, packed with detailed reports from the various studios involved with the FPS development, was partly meant to appease the anxious fans following a delay to the expected release of the module. Though most Star Citizen fans will tell you that delays are to be expected during alpha development, they were happy to have new information about the ongoing work being put into Star Marine, and the reasons for its delay. I'm going to touch on the key points covered in the design post. Star Marine is intended to be the test bed for the FPS gameplay in order to tighten down the mechanics and polish it up for both the single-player campaign and the persistent universe. There are known issues they want to address before release, as there's no point in getting feedback where it's already known further work is needed. The FPS characters have received a major overhaul from the studios in Austin and Santa Monica. New character customization systems are being implemented. Updating PBR material details on character assets has been an ongoing effort and allows them to increase the texture density and overall look of the characters with less memory-intensive techniques. Multi-layer blending per material is also being investigated and will be the next step in character development. The Marines and Outlaws have undergone extensive makeovers to ready them for Star Marine, improving the overall look and feel of the characters. Work has also gone into making the groups more visually cohesive, making the difference between Outlaws and Marines more distinctive, and thus making it easier to differentiate your teammates from your enemies in a firefight. Heavier character armors were also beefed up to set them apart from the lighter armors, and helmets were revamped. RSI spacesuit character models were also upgraded to prepare them for the Saddleball game mode in the Astro Arena. Current FPS development at the Austin and Santa Monica studios includes increased poly count, more physically accurate materials, fixing and limiting the anti-aliasing issues, laying the groundwork for the customization system, character modularity, character optimization and levels of detail, multi-layer blending, character class and type specifics, and persistent universe character standards. The animation team in Santa Monica is continuing work on the FPS animations, with much of the work going into zero-gravity combat animations, including hand-keyed animations. Getting good zero-gravity animations that look and feel right is no easy task, especially with a unified rig that's using the same animations for both third and first person, and a considerable amount of work is being put into that effort. Work is being done on animations for no weapon, rifles, pistols, grenades, and two-handed gadgets for the normal Marine, plus a new set of animations for the heavy Marine. Sliding, taking cover, vaulting, and ledge climbing are also beginning their process into the game. Gunplay, including reloads and jukes, is being revamped to give more weight and realism to player movement. The team at Ilphonic has implemented new lighting on the Astro Arena and Gold Horizon maps. Every light is now physically calculated in terms of volume and brightness. Previously, these maps contained simple point lights that generated faked specular highlight, which wasn't utilizing PBR to its fullest. Now, surfaces calculate and bounce light much more accurately, as seen in these before and after shots. Assets, effects, and animations were created to support the new Saddleball gameplay, and varied lights were added to the polygonal cover objects to help players navigate the zero-gravity arena and minimize disorientation. Global art improvements included adjusting ambient lights, gameplay layout changes in the Gold Horizon map, adding stadium-style canned lighting on the ring and above the goals, increasing fidelity on the environments on both ring and ad drones, adding frosted backlight panels to the cover objects, increasing the global lighting contrast, adding smaller human-scale lights, adding more small details across many assets in each level for emphasis on scale, creating animated advertisements that are used on the ad drones, improving skybox and nebula assets, an additional lighting pass on Gold Horizon, gameplay-specific level changes for both Astro Arena and Gold Horizon, and edits to the PBR materials to ensure the best overall image quality. The Saddleball gameplay is being used as a test bed for zero-gravity locomotion, to make EVA movement robust and viable even without thrusters. A new system, being referred to internally as Aegis, is being developed to allow for partial and full body transitions into and out of a ragdoll state, allowing characters to collide with and be affected by their surroundings instead of just animating normally. This will allow characters and their extremities to go limp while incapacitated or injured, and also to become temporarily stunned before returning control. Work is also being done on jukes and movement transitions to avoid players being able to stop on a dime and change directions instantly, as is possible in most first-person games. CryEngine already has support for movement transitions on AI, but they needed something player-driven as well. A new system was built that determines if a player is making a large enough change in movement that it would require extra steps to slow down or change direction. These transitions between animation states are intended to make animations look smoother and to encourage players to think more tactically about their movement. This video shows an early version of that system that will be greatly improved upon once motion captured animations are cleaned up and integrated. CIG Austin has created a completely new matchmaker, instance manager, and party service, all of which will roll out with the release of the Star Marine module. This will ultimately result in a far smoother multiplayer experience. Queue times and issues creating or joining multiplayer games will be drastically reduced. Work is also being done to reduce load times via multiple optimizations, including splitting geometry into separate files and loading LODs from low to high, yielding faster loading and streaming. These optimizations have also been done for textures. Performance improvements will be ongoing indefinitely. The audio team at Foundry 42 in Manchester has moved the Star Citizen audio over to WWise, and with this come a number of improvements and tools, including WWise meter, which will assist with mixing and allow the team at Manchester in cooperation with the VFX team to drive certain visual parameters based on audio signal, such as fire sounds changing the fire effects, for example. Ducking, which can move the rest of the soundscape down if critical dialogue needs to be heard. Loudness metering, which will ensure consistency and dynamic range based on the preferences of the player and the hardware the player is using. HDR, which can achieve perceived loudness without assaulting the player with sound pressure that would be actually deafening. With convolution reverb, spaces can be more realistically modeled, even sampling real-world spaces and modeling them in-game, so that a cockpit interior reflects sound like a real cockpit would, for example. The WWise interactive music system will change music in response to changing game states, without breaking the inherent rules that music needs to follow. Bringing the WWise system into CryEngine is tricky, and they are working to complete that transition now. Teams from around the world are continuing work on various elements essential to Star Marine, and while no hard date is being announced for the release of the module, the work being put into it is certainly overwhelming, and I'll continue to anxiously await this essential part of what Star Citizen is to become, and I remain cautiously optimistic about the project as a whole. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and remember to like, comment, subscribe, send me hate messages, start a flame war, whatever you want to do, and stay tuned for more updates and gameplay videos on Star Citizen as more pieces of the game come online. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey guys, if you enjoy this series and you'd like to support me on Patreon, the link is here. If you'd like to subscribe to this channel, click here, and for the next video, click here. And as always, thanks for watching.